And a very good evening to wherever you may be watching from Australia, New Zealand or around the world. We are proud to bring you the DPA X State of Origin battle. We are now in the closing stages with our final four, but the top three teams will be paid. My name is Landon Blackhall. I'm the tournament director and audio commentator for tonight's live stream. It's now time to introduce the players. In seat number one, representing Team New South Wales, Christopher Macon, currently on 213,000. In seat number two, for the defending champions, the Northern Rivers, Gavin Rosemundy on 338,000. In seat number three, the home state, currently on 348,000 in chips, David Thomas of Victoria. And in seat number four, from across the ditch, representing the Auckland Aces, Chris Bloom, with the chip lead now at 433,000. The blinds are currently 25,000, 50,000, with 3 minutes and 25 seconds remaining in the current blind level. The button will start with Auckland. We have a dead small blind with New South Wales in the big blind. Ladies and gentlemen, it's our pleasure to bring you this coverage, proudly supported by Crown Melbourne. And without any further ado, Anand, please, shuffle up and deal.
Eli, we're good.
And we are away, ladies and gents. This is the first hand of the live stream of DPA State of Origin 5. DPA State of Origin, of course, the curtain raiser to the main event, which will be taking place tomorrow, co-branded as the World Championship of Deaf Poker. We have players that have flown in from all across the country, across the ditch, and from across the globe, all vying to become the next world champion of Deaf Poker. So we pick up the action on the small blind with New South Wales' Christopher Macon making the call. Gavin Rosemundy for the Northern Rivers checks his option in the big blind. We'll see it fly. Flop is King 7 Deuce. Christopher checks, as does Gavin. Turn card. Tray. Check, check. Let's see the river. Repeat tray. Christopher checks. Bet 75,000. Chris lets it go, and Gavin Rosemundy will pick up that pot. Shows the ace of hearts. Has himself some nice little nut flush power. Our live stream proudly supported by Crown Melbourne. Of course, hosting this event, our special 10th anniversary celebration, having started as a $25 buy-in tournament in a pub in Sydney all the way back in 2009, and has since turned into one of the biggest and most popular deaf sporting and cultural events in the country. The DPA State of Origin is a unique 8-man teams format, with teams competing from Australia, New Zealand, and a special international squad, the X squad, who sadly just missed out on their spot to be in the live stream. But we are currently on the bubble here. Third place guaranteed $1,000 for their team. second place $1,500, and first place $2,500.
Players on the side, bring out. You're on a break at the completion of 10. You're on a 10-minute break at the completion of 10.
Action here at this final table. Northern Rivers have raised to 100,000 from the button. And Auckland has called from the big line. Let's see the flop. Flop is ace 10 6. He checks. And Gavin also checks his option. The turn card is the Queen of Diamonds. Auckland checks, bet of 100,000 from the Northern Rivers, but the Auckland Aces will let their hand go. And that's another pot to the defending champion. Line level has just been increased. It'll be a player change. So in this teams format, we started earlier today with 8 shootout tables, with 1 player for every team on each of those shootout tables. And of course, the higher that they placed, the more bonus chips they earned for their team stack. It was in fact Victoria that topped the counts there at the end of our 2 heats of 4 shootout tables each. So we're now in an 8-man tag team battle royale, playing down to 1 winner tonight. So you may see an extra pair of hands there in between the deaf players. That is Steve Waddell, our chief interpreter for this weekend's festivities. Just explaining to the players that they are currently racing off the chips, the blue chips there. So that's just to balance out the overall chip count for those who are unfamiliar with the game. And we are now ready to recommence. Line's now at 30,000, 60,000. Coming in for New South Wales is Matthew Heyman. Next to him for the Northern Rivers, Michael Spoonman Shepherd. Ben Morrison now in for the Big V. And Eric Coppage there now for Auckland. Oh, no. Yes, no. No, we did get it right. All right, away we go. 30-60, off we go.
The interpreter spelled it with a K, not a C.
Ah, there we go. That explains it.
It's one of those copycat problems.
Yeah. Interpreter Steve just explaining that he finger-spelled his name with a K, not a C. So we return to the action now. 3-handed. Victoria, the only team not in this pot, with the dealer spreading a flop of Queen 5 Deuce. Auckland, New Zealand will be first to ace. Checks the option. As do New South Wales. Now on Northern Rivers. So you know, we're now to the turn, which is a 7. Auckland has checked, and New South Wales has moved all in. Northern Rivers lets the hand go. Action back to the Auckland Aces. Calls. It's actually 105,000 that New South Wales is all in for. So we are on the bubble. This could be the moment that, well, in fact, it looks like New South Wales are in great position here. Having hit 2 pair with 7-5 offsuit, they are currently ahead of the ace-queen for Eric Coppage of Auckland. However, backdoor flush draw, any ace, any queen. Here we go, to the river. And a very happy Matthew Heyman picks up the double up. Now, a little bit of history behind this run here at New South Wales. To date, they have not actually made the money or won the DPA State of Origin. They've never had any result. Could they break the drought tonight? Just be very, very careful with the tape. The new dealer's just coming in. We're just letting you know just to be a little bit careful with the camera.
He's on the cord.
We do apologise, ladies and gentlemen. We just quickly reset.
Landon, it's on a lump in the carpet apparently. The face. There's a lump on the carpet.
Look at the back.
Back on it to weight it down.
Yeah, just bring it back. Once again, my sincere apologies, ladies and gents.
Or twist it so that it's not on that lump. Can we stop the clock?
No, you're right, mate. Just just be extremely careful because it's just a few teething problems with the Mevo live stream camera. Our sincere apologies. We're just about to get back underway. Tournament clock has been paused. We're just going to reposition the players slightly. We're just getting to shift in just a little bit on this side so you can see your beautiful faces. And we are now good to resume play. Line still at 30,000, 6,000. Clock on.
Clock on.
Away we go. Well, that's live poker for you, ladies and gentlemen. Anything can happen. But let's get back to the action here. It's folded around to New South Wales in the small blind. Matthew Heyman has made the call. Michael Shepherd for the Northern Rivers checks. We'll go heads up to the flop. Flop is 10-9-6. Just gone check, check. Let's see the turn. Turn card's a check. Goes check, check to the river. Is 7. Matthew Heyman, New South Wales, makes it 60,000 to go. Back to Michael Shepherd, he folds. So New South Wales will pick up the top there. Just had a comment from one of our viewers there asking what's the blue thing next to their chips? Well, to answer that question, those are time breaker buttons. So each team has been given 2 opportunities to take a timeout away from the table to discuss strategy when everything is on the line, at those crucial moments. So the time button count at this point, New South Wales have used up both timeouts, as has Auckland, over there on seat 4, but Northern Rivers and Victoria in seats 2 and 3, respectively, each have 1 left. So just to get back to an explanation of the structure for today, we completed 8 shootout tables, 1 player from each team on every table. The higher they place, the more bonus chips they earned for their team stack at the final table. And we're now in the process of a multiplayer battle royale until we have 1 winner tonight. Before we all return tomorrow for the DPA X Main Event. the DPA X Main Event, co-branded as the International Deaf Poker Federation World Championship, which first took place in Las Vegas 2 years ago and was won by Andrew Sanders of the United States. And we have a timeout. It's been taken by the Northern Rivers. So we've just seen them. They're about to duck around to the back of the screens there. So the clock will be paused. Clock. So this is Northern Rivers' second and final timeout.
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 He's done it.
Time back on. And Michael Shepherd, as soon as he returned to the table there, has elected to move all in. Victoria, New South Wales fold. Back to Big Matty Heyman for New South Wales on the big line. Ask for a count.
200.
And finally elects to let his hand go. So Northern Rivers will pick up their pot. And with that, Victoria are the only team with a timeout remaining. Everyone else is now at the mercy of the 20-second shot clock, which is in effect for the entire duration of this event. For those new to the game, that means that players will only have 20 seconds to make a decision on their hand. If they fail to do so, their hand is automatically declared dead. Back to the action now. You would have seen Eric Coppage of the Auckland Aces. He's moved in for his last 75,000. And Michael Shepherd, just a little bit extra there to call. So we reveal their hands there. So the Northern Rivers priced in with 7-4 offsuit, but they are trailing the King Queen of Auckland, New Zealand. Let's see the flop. Flop is Queen at 10-5. So a pair of queens now. Auckland is further ahead. Turn card now. This is a 6. Open it a straight draw for the defending champions, Northern Rivers. Can they get a little lucky? Let's find out. The river is an ace. Pair of queens is good enough. That's a double up there for the Auckland Aces. Yeah. Alrighty. Away we go once more. Four-handed action continuing here at the DPA State of Origin. As you would have noticed, all the players here today are deaf or hard of hearing. Makes no difference whatsoever to the way that the game is played. The only difference is that Auslan, or Australian Sign Language, is permitted to be used at the tables. This is, of course, in combination with a series of non-grammatical hand signals, which was a new learning experience for us. Thank you to our interpreter, Steve, making sure that the concept was clarified to everyone. But of course, all the terms that are used in poker, like these hand signals, are simple, time-honoured traditional signals that everyone uses in order to make all the action clear on the tables. And after a couple of open shots there from the Auckland Aces, he gets himself a walk in the big one there. So, just a little bit quiet at the moment. Of course, we are on the bubble. Top 3 teams will be paid. This is our biggest DPA State of Origin event ever. A lockout today at 10 teams. Now down to 4. And we have an all-in call. Defending champions, the Northern Rivers, in the form of Michael Shepherd, has moved all in. Has been quickly called by Eric Coppage for the Auckland Aces. Northern Rivers with Queen Jack, but they find themselves behind the Ace Jack suited for the Auckland Aces. Let's see the flop. Flop is 10, 4, deuce. Ace Jack still ahead there, turn card. 2 cards and ace. That'll be enough there, I think. Oh, wait, no. Gut shot, straight draw possibility there for the Rivers. Let's see the River. Oh, it was close. It is a queen. We're just going to get a count here. Looks as though there might be a little bit of change there for the Northern Rivers. So the Auckland Aces all in for 300,000 there, leaving just 25,000 in chips for the defending champions. So for those of you watching at home, the yellow chips are 5,000 each, and the brown chocolate chips are 25,000 each. So here we go. Action continues here. Four-handed at the DPA State of Origin number 5 final table. But for how much longer remains to be seen, as the Northern Rivers find themselves all in on the big blind this hand. Still 60,000 to call here. Auckland makes the call. New South Wales completes the small blinds. So we'll go heads up into a side pot here between Matthew Heyman and Eric Coppage. Away we go to the flop. Flop is Queen 10-7. New South Wales, we first to act. Checks. Auckland also checks. Here we go to the turn. Turn card's a deuce. It's 60,000, the bet there from New South Wales. Action back to Auckland. He was going to go in for raising shift, but then lets it go. So we're now going to showdown here. So it's a pair of 10s with 10-6 for New South Wales versus a pair of 7s there with 7-4 for the Northern Rivers. Could be the moment the bubble bursts. The River, please. Yeah! It's a 9. It's a 9. That is it for the Northern Rivers, the defending champions of State of Origin 4. Fall agonisingly short on the bubble in 4th place. Right at the moment where we go into changeover. So new level, new players. And we are officially in the money. The next team eliminated guaranteed $1,000 of the Australian variety. And Victoria are the only team still in with a time breaker button. You just see coming in for New South Wales now, the man who started it all, the godfather of Australian death maker, Mr. Sakong Kim. We then have Nick Gooley from Victoria. In seat number 2 there, Krista Clifford next to him from Auckland, New Zealand there. We'll just get all the players to shuffle in a little bit around this slate. A little bit, and just a little bit further to the left there. Just a little adjustment there and we are good to go. Alright. Lines, clock. Lines now at 40,000, 80,000. Away we go. Dead small blind this hand, so it's just Victoria here on the big line. And the live stream of the DPA State of Origin version 5.0 continues. Raise there on the button from New South Wales to 160,000. Action to Nick Gooley for Victoria. Let his hand go, so that'll be the pot there for the godfather of Australian death poker. Sakong Kim finished 4th in the Australian Championship last year. Krista Clifford, a long-time player from across the Tasman. And Nick Gooley, who you may have seen on the APL Victoria pages earlier this year, won the Victorian State Championship and earned himself a seat into a WSOP event in Las Vegas, Nevada. And was coached in a personal poker training session by WSOP bracelet winner Jackie Glazier. But this is where the story gets interesting, ladies and gentlemen. Jackie Glazier's husband Jamie, who is a renowned mind coach and motivational speaker, actually was Nick Gooley's former tennis coach many moons ago. Very special hello to Jamie and Jackie. Hope you're enjoying your time up there at the Star for the Survivor reunion party. Action continuing here on this final table. The board reads 7-6-5 tray. Looks like it's been checked all the way down there. New South Wales shows Queen Jack, but Krista Clifford is best there with the Ace-8. And we'll pick up that pot. Just some updated chip counts there for you. New South Wales on close to 500,000 now. Victoria, the short stack, on about 160,000. So just 2 big blinds. But Auckland are the chip leaders with more than 800,000 there. Could this be the year that Betsy goes back across the Tasman? And for those of you who are wondering who Betsy is, we'll bring her out and introduce you to her shortly. That is once we get to heads up.
least 160.
You know. And we've had time called by Victoria. This is the final time out of the tournament. So Victoria step away. After a raise there from Krista Clifford, making it 310,000 to go before the flop. Nick Cooley now faced with a decision, and he moves the rest of it all in. So Krista doesn't need to put in anything else. She's already got him covered by a long way. King Jack for the Auckland Aces versus 6 tray for Victoria. Just put the all-in five next to the tray. Alrighty. Here we go to the flop. The tray in a window there. So that'll pair up Victoria there.
Come on,
but with 3 clubs, it's a nut flush draw, backdoor flush draw there. Try saying that 5 times fast. Turn card. 8 of hearts, no change. Victoria still so close to doubling up, but still we have one more card to come. The river, here we go. It's the 9 of clubs, nut flush, and Victoria eliminated in dramatic fashion by the Auckland Aces. And now we go heads up between the 2 teams who have finally both broken the long drought in State of Origin. New South Wales versus Auckland. What?
And they've never been at a heads up either. So neither have they won nor have they been at a heads up.
Haven't won, haven't made any money. This is...
Start the car!
Tournament Director Shane, representing Crown Melbourne here, presenting to you, ladies and gentlemen, the DPA State of Origin Trophy, lovingly named Betsy. Here she is, ladies and gentlemen. This is what they're playing for, and they're playing for a top prize of $2,500. This is the first time that either team have made the money in the State of Origin Championship event. So, as it stands, chip count estimates here, New South Wales on close to 500,000. Well, we're actually getting exact chip counts here. Plus that. 475 there for Sakon Kim. And we're just getting a count now from Auckland, Krista Clifford. Now we have confirmed it's 855,000 for the Auckland Aces. Alrighty, let's get those chips back into your stacks. Best of luck to both players. When you're ready, Derek, let's get this show on the road. Shuffle up and deal. Hop. Away we go. Heads up in DPA State of Origin 5. Action will begin with Sekong Kim, but he will give Krista Clifford from Auckland a walk in the big one. Rebecca Petrocaro from South Australia has just commented that both players were in fact on her table during the shootout phase today. So these opponents will know themselves quite well. Just a little bit of double check there. Of course, the current blind still at 40,000, 80,000 with 8.5 minutes remaining. Krista elects to call, and Sekong for New South Wales has checked his option in the big blind. Let's see the flop. Flop is Jack 10-9 with 2 diamonds. Bet of 100,000 there from Sekong. Oh, and Krista, she calls. Turn card. There's a queen. And Sekong is all in. The red triangle out in front of his stack. And it's been called. Here we go. We're going to go down here. It's Jack 4. Pair of jacks there versus the king high straight for the Auckland Aces. Unless a king comes down on the river, this will be the moment that Betsy goes back across the Tasman. Who's it going to be? The river. It's a 5. That is it. The Auckland Aces are champions. And they are going absolutely bananas on the rail. So that is it. DPA State of Origin 5 is all over. And the Auckland Aces have stolen Betsy from Australian soil for the very first time. The players now coming in to congratulate their opponents and to start celebrating. The Kiwis have had a proud partnership with Australian Deaf Poker since 2012, but they've now broken through for their first major win in DPA history. Simply stunning, ladies and gents, and look at this, the sportsmanship all around. This is something you do not see in mainstream poker, ladies and gentlemen. I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt that this is exactly what deaf poker is all about. You can just see now Ben Clifford embracing his wife Krista, who came away with the winning hand there. Two-time New Zealand Deaf Poker champion Robert Cairns in the red cap there, shaking hands with Matthew Phillips. Rian Yates at the back there with Matthew Heyman. My goodness, just jubilant scenes here in Crown Melbourne tonight. And all players now coming in to wishing them congratulations. And we'll be getting the winner's photo there organised very, very shortly. Well, for those of you wondering who that blue team is, you'll know them as the DPA State of Origin 5 champions, the Auckland Aces. And there you see our little Kiwi friend sitting next to the winning hand there. Oop. And Betsy almost had a fall there. That's all right, they've saved the old girl. And it just keeps going here with the heartfelt congratulations. DPA All-Stars captain, Caleb Thorne, also a Kiwi, quick to embrace his fellow countrymen. And there he is hugging the reigning New Zealand Deaf Poker champion, Michael Granger. Just euphoric scenes here. New Zealand finally break through for their first major victory on Australian soil. The first time they've ever cashed in the State of Origin tournament. But kudos to New South Wales as well. Also the first time they've made the money. They've finally broken the drought. After a long 4 years in the wilderness, they've managed to come through for a runner-up finish. And you can see, again, New South Wales coming in to congratulate the Kiwis. Certainly not disappointed with their result. Silver medals never sneezed up here in Deaf Poker. So we will conclude with our formal presentations very shortly once we get the players in for the winner's photo. A couple of speeches and then we'll wrap up tonight.
Oh, you do want chairs around it?
Yeah. Oh, for the photo.
Oh, well, they stand.
Yeah, you punch in close, and then one person hold it in your hand. And hold it in your hand, yeah. Yeah. Alright. Beautiful. Alright. Steve, we'll get you a shot. Oh no, just aside. Yep. Alright. Just move there. Move out the way so you can see here.
Does it want them in or?
Yeah. No, just yeah. Just move to the side a bit so we all get you in shot. That's it.
You got that?
Yep. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Deaf Poker Australia, Congratulations to the Auckland Aces, DPA State of Oregon 5 champions. What an amazing battle. 10 teams, the biggest State of Origin event ever. You've done it, your country so proud, you've done your city so proud. And now, for the very first time, you are taking Betsy home. Ladies and gentlemen, we will wrap up the live stream here now, and we'll present the medals to the players shortly. So from all of us here at Crown Melbourne, thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you again tomorrow for the DPA X Main Event. Good night.